Hello guys, and welcome to today's tips and tricks video. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the janitor role, a role where if you clean somebody on a night and they die, you will gain access to their role and their will, whereas everybody else will not get access to that. Think of yourself as the victim's own private lawyer and you get to dole out their possessions and information. I know when I first found it I said, well, so what? It's not really that good a role, I don't like being it. But I've found there are quite a few tricks you can use as the janitor to give you the mafia quite a big advantage. So first I think I'm going to concentrate as the mafia as a whole and how you can help them, and then I'll move on to the individual benefits of the janitor after that. The main benefit of having your janitor on your team as a mafia member is pretty much clean the first 3 people who you know will die. I mean, what this achieves is that it will open up the role list for people to claim whatever the hell they like. I mean, in games where it's just like there's a definite spy or definite vigilante and they're all just definite, having a janitor in that situation can mean that any member of your mafia can then claim to be any of the roles that you have cleaned. As long as you tell them the roles that you've cleaned, they can then claim those in return, as nobody will be there to counterclaim them. Obviously this is good, as in a critical situation it could prevent a mafia from being lynched, even though they have been implicated by, say, an investigator or a sheriff. But this is good, believe it or not, because once somebody says for definite they're mafia, you know exactly who to kill, as they will not be able to implicate the rest of the mafia, even if that person should die the next day. However, it's always good to wait at night after somebody's revealed as a sheriff or an investigator, as bodyguards, doctors, and whoever knows what will jump on them like moths to a flame. Now, the most specific way you can help the mafia, which I've mentioned in my disguiser video, is to team up with the disguiser. Basically, if you and the disguiser clean and disguise as the same person, that person will then be cleaned, you will gain access to their information, and then the disguiser can perfectly mimic that person to a T. What they were, what they know, save in a sheriff's log, you can just pass on the information and they'll have everything they need to prove their innocence to the rest of the town. However, there's only one flaw in that plan, and if you kill a mayor. Because if you should kill a mayor, clean them, you know they're a mayor, the disguiser can't begin to pretend to be a mayor. Does not have that precious reveal command. Curse the mayor revealing himself in public. Has he no shame? He should go to jail. Anyway, what's going to happen now is I'm going to move on to the individual benefits of being a janitor. Okay, so say you clean someone night 1. That person turns out to be a vigilante. Now, once you've cleaned them and been a vigilante, you can claim of being a vigilante for the rest of the game, because that role cannot be claimed by anyone else unless there's 2 of them, and even then it would have been possible for there to be 2 of them. Once you've done this, you have a seat of, say, moderate innocence in the town, but it really comes into play when you become the mafioso later on. If an investigator should take a look at you, you'll come up as Vig, Vet, or mafioso. Obviously, since you've been playing Vig the entire game, they won't think twice and won't try to lynch you. Of course, this plan can backfire sometimes. I remember one time I cleaned somebody, and it turns out they got killed by a veteran. The member of the mafia failed as they were immune, and they ended up cleaning a serial killer. Now, this can also play to your advantage, as you can say there's still a serial killer out there and lead the town into a panic. Obviously, as the serial killer will never be caught, the mafia will have less attention drawn on them, as the town will be going, "Ah, serial killer! No!" And you will be free to go about your business. I would never count on this, though. It's a very rare occurrence. I don't think it'll happen like 100 to 1 chance, possibly. Now, I'm going to tell you about one of my favourite tricks that a janitor can do. Since it's almost inevitable that you'll die being an expendable support mafia, at least at some point towards the end, then what you can do is, you can put in your will that one of the person you cleaned was in fact an investigative role. Now, if you do that, you can then put that they said that a certain person was the serial killer in your will. Now, since the mafia wants to kill the serial killer, this will be trusted by most of the gullible members of the town, and possibly some of the smarter ones, because the mafia wants to get rid of the serial killer, obviously. And you can just implicate a random town member. You can get a town member lynched just off that. So that's one of my favourite tricks that a janitor can do. Make people think that you have information that has been withheld from them in your will. It will save your life. Well, no, it won't save your life. It will save the mafia's lives. You're dead. Nobody will care. I'm sorry, that's the harsh truth. I should be kind to janitors. But yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to go over today. So I will see you in a couple of days, maybe, guys. I've got some stuff going on, so I'm not sure when I'll next be able to get the video on. But yeah, I'll see you again. Goodbye.